Not time to make a change. Just sit down, take it slowly. You're still young, that's your fault. There's so much you have to go through. Find a girl, settle down. If you want, you can marry. Look at me, I am old, but I'm happy. All the times that I've cried, keeping all the things I knew inside. It's hard, but it's harder to ignore it. If they were right, I'd agree, but it's them they know, not me. Now there's a way, and I know that I have to go away. I know I have to go.
Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes, watching the ships roll in, and then I'll watch them roll away again. Yeah, I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. I left my home in Georgia, headed for the Frisco Bay, 'cause I've had nothing to live for, and look like nothing's gonna come my way. So I'm just gonna sit on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Look like nothing's gonna change. Everything still remains the same. I can't do what 10 people tell me to do, so I guess I'll remain the same. Listen, sitting here resting my bones, and this loneliness won't leave me alone. Listen, 2,000 miles I roam just to make this dock my home. Now I'm just gonna sit at the dock of a bay, watching the tide roll away. Ooh, I'm sitting on the dock of a bay, wasting time. need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. If there is a load you have to bear that you can't carry, I'm right up the road. I'll share your load if you just call me. Call me if you need a friend. Call me, if you need a friend. If you ever need a friend, call me. Call me. Call me. Call me. Call me. Call me. If you need a friend, call me. Call me. Call me. Call me. Call me. Call me. You're a rich girl and you're gone too far, 'cause you know it don't matter anyway. You can rely on the old man's money. You can rely on the old man's money. It's a bitch girl, but it's gone too far, 'cause you know it don't matter anyway. Say money, money won't get you too far, get you too far. Don't you know? Don't you know?
Some people call me the space cowboy. Yeah. Some call me the gangster of love. Some people call me Maurice, 'cause I speak of the pompatus of love. People talk about me, baby, say I'm doing you wrong, doing you wrong. Well, don't you worry, baby, don't worry, 'cause I'm right here, right here, right here, right here at home. 'Cause I'm a picker, I'm a grinner, I'm a lover, and I'm a sinner. I play my music in the sun. I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight toker. I sure don't want to hurt no one. I'm a picker, I'm a grinner, I'm a lover, and I'm a sinner. I play my music in the sun. I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight toker. Get my loving on the run. You're the cutest thing tree. Lovey-dovey, lovey-dovey, lovey-dovey all the time. Ooh, yeah, baby, I sure show you a good time. 'Cause I'm a picker, I'm a grinner, I'm a lover, and I'm a sinner. I play my music in the sun. I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight toker. I get my loving on the run. I'm a picker, I'm a grinner, I'm a lover, and I'm a sinner. I play my music in the sun. I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight toker. I sure don't want to hurt no one.
I'm a picker, I'm a grinner. I'm a lover and I'm a sinner. I play my music in the sun. I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight toker. I sure don't want to hurt anyone. Steve Miller could well have written those lyrics about our great mate Norm. As you all know, it was Norm's world and we just lived in it. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come together this afternoon to celebrate the life of Norman Charles Vanderfeen, Norm as he was known to all of you. Today we will say goodbye to him now that he is finally pain-free and at peace. His journey has been a pretty tough one over the last few months, but it was an enjoyable journey for most of his life. It was a journey that each of you have tried hard to make easier for him with your friendship, love, and support. But his stubbornness and determination meant he lived his life on his terms and made his own choices. My name is Denise Wotherspoon, and on behalf of Jessie and the staff of Parkside Funerals, I am honoured to be leading the celebration of this unique man's life. Norm was the type of man that would not want to be the centre of attention this afternoon, would want little fuss and few tears. He would want us to hurry up and get on with it, and then go and share some stories and have a laugh at his shenanigans, some of which we will hear later. On behalf of his beloved soulmate Trudy, his children Jessie and Shane, Sarah and Justin, Tom, Aaron and Josephine, Ted and Shane, Joe and Nicole, and his adored grandchildren Lacey, Heidi and Ewan, Billy deceased, Cassidy Rose, Jake and Brooklyn. I welcome you and I thank you for being here with them this afternoon to farewell Norm in a loving and meaningful way. I also welcome all those who are watching online this afternoon, having been unable to join us here at Norm's home of the last 26 years. The bright yellow home known to everyone. The outside paint is called Simply Elegant, and inside the paint is called Happiness. Maybe Norm chose these for more reasons than just the colour. But a little bit of housekeeping to kick us off. The family have asked that I point out to you the portaloos around the corner. Life can't be too serious when you're using a portaloo now, can it? This means there's no reason to go inside the house for quite a while, but after the formal celebration is completed, Norm will pop inside out of the sun and you may go in there and say your goodbyes to him. Until then, enjoy time out here together, and maybe think of a story that you would like to publicly share later in our celebration. And if you haven't switched off your mobile phone, would you please do so? As you all know, Norm had a wicked sense of humour, and he loved the wit of Billy Connolly, who once said, "Life is supposed to be fun. It's not a job or an occupation. We here only once, and we should have a bit of a laugh." So that's what we're going to do. Arriving on this planet on the 7th of March 1954, Norm was the eldest of 4 sons born to Morris and Connie Vanderfeen. His early years in Ulverston were spent with his brothers Andrew, Mark and Adrian, doing the usual childhood activities and joining their dad on regular hunting, camping and diving trips. Norm loved the outdoors from a very young age, and this stayed with him right to the end. Attending Sacred Heart Primary School and later Marist College, well, he was pretty miffed that his parents made him board at the college through the week, while in later years his brothers could catch the train home every afternoon. But anyway, he was a popular student and a very capable sportsman. His height and his physique, meaning he captained virtually every sports team he participated in while at school. Very competitive in those early years, he was always out to win, played hard, and really didn't give a toss what anyone else thought of him. Such was his physique and strength that one time he actually lifted a Morris Minor in order for the wheel to be changed, as there was not a jack in sight. At one time, a local magistrate stated, "Mr. Vanderfeen, you have a blatant disregard for authority." Norm smiled from ear to ear. He didn't disagree with that at all. In fact, he was pretty chuffed that she had summed him up so well. On leaving school, he started an apprenticeship with his dad as an electrician. However, when he discovered that he could get $3 more on a scholarship to go to uni, he thought, bugger this, and he quit the apprenticeship with Dad and headed south to be, or the fun-loving life of a uni student in the early 70s. Shared digs, lots of friends, amazing party life, not a lot, if any, study, but life was good. Well, it was, until his parents discovered he'd not been attending any lectures and was simply pretending to be a student. So, no longer could he live the student lifestyle. He stayed in Hobart doing seasonal work for a while before heading north to the Big Island to work on prawn trawlers and fishing boats. Work he really loved. Fishing, poaching, eggs that is, diving and partying. After a stint in Darwin, he returned to Tasmania on December the 23rd, 1974, leaving Cyclone Tracy in his wake. On the 1st of March, 1976, Norm married Deborah, and together they carved out a beautiful home on 160 acres of forest area in Gunns Plains. A hard-working man, Norm could do anything he put his mind to: design, construct, evaluate, problem solve. He cleared the land, made the road, and built the house. His first 2 daughters were born in this time, Jessie in 1984 and Sarah in 1985. Later in 1987, Thomas was born. Life in Gunns Plains was great. Everyone knew when it was bonfire night. Everyone else would light rockets and Catherine wheels. No, Norm would throw a stick of gelignite down the valley and scare the shit out of every person and every dog. When it was time for Jessie to start school, the decision was made to move back into Ulverston, and by 1991, Norm and Deborah decided to go their separate ways. Later, after meeting Trudy, a new little family came together. Trudy brought her son Aaron into Norm's life, and later in 1995, twins Ted and Joe were born. Norm simply loved his family, always loved family occasions, and Christmas was always memorable when the annual trip to borrow a tree from the forestry was undertaken. Living in Stowport for several years before buying the property where we are today, life was great, and Norm's love of the West Coast resulted in the purchase of a holiday property in Strahan. Norm knew the name of every mountain and every ridge, knew the best fishing spots, and was mates with many of the West Coast's quirky characters. In 1999, he decided to sell the property, but he regretted it straight away. Beating himself up about that decision, in 2000 he bought what could only be described as a hut on Henty Road and set to tidying it up. Conning the kids with, "Hey kids, do you want to go camping?" He'd ask very earnestly. Of course they did, but once he got them there, it was the best child labour force around. Hours of pulling bracken ferns and digging the long drop. Yeah, right, Dad. During this time, he paid $10,000 for an old cray boat moored in Macquarie Harbour. Grand plans to turn it into a houseboat never really eventuated, as it had a penchant to sink or roll onto its side, and hours would be spent bucketing the water out. Wanting to sell it as a fixer-upper, I believe it may still be looking rather mournful in the harbour to this day. A charismatic, unique man, Norm lived life on his terms. Didn't ever feel the need to be politically correct, was true to himself, and never had an iota of a shit about what anyone thought of him. He would quote the old adage, "Before you judge a man, walk a mile in his shoes. After that, who gives a shit? He's a mile away and you've got his shoes." Astute, intelligent, maybe leading to the eccentric, Norm had an eclectic taste in cars. Sometimes this yard could have been mistaken for a wrecker's yard. I'm sure there'll be many stories shared later this afternoon about the various vehicles that would get him around. The van that got bogged on the beach. The van he'd take the kids to school in, loving to embarrass the crap out of them as he made it backfire continually. The van parked on the beach that the kids had to move if the tide came in. The kids were no more than 10 and had no idea how to drive, but he'd shout, "You'll figure it out," and off he'd go, mutton birding. And then, of course, there was the van he took to Sydney to collect the furniture he'd purchased, finding himself going the wrong way on the Sydney Harbour Bridge. He simply dropped it into reverse, because who gives a shit? Norm sounds laid back and carefree, and he was. But he was also super clever, and in 1984, after he had injured his back at work, he undertook a 4-year engineering degree. He completed it in 2 years and ended up teaching the subjects at the Spring Street TAFE. He did that for a couple of years before he found his own electrical engineering company, Vancom, where he devised a plant automation system for what was then lactose, and that system is still in use today. One of Norm's proudest moments, and it's pictured in your service sheet, was when he met Prince Charles. Prince Charles stopped to speak to him on a visit to Strahan in 1994. With Norm wearing a visibly striking hat, and very stylish it was, Prince Charles was heard to state, "What an interesting hat. Does everyone down here wear hats like that?" Well, Norm, of course, replied, "Only on special occasions," but the short answer is no, we don't. But he beamed from ear to ear, and I'm sure if you looked inside, you probably find that hat. Over the last 20 years, Norm has been plagued by health issues. A liver transplant didn't deter him. Dying on the table didn't deter him. Stomach issues and heart issues didn't deter him. Such was his determination, he was affectionately named the Battler by his family, and he continued to live and love life to the best capacity he could. His life was always full of projects, one of his latest being the cannabis oil chocolate that he knew could give himself and many others relief from pain. But that was ultimately thwarted by the government red tape. Hating bureaucracy, Norm often stated how worried about the world he was leaving to his grandchildren, little ones that he loved to bits, as he did his own children. He was always proud of everything they did and achieved, and would have gone to the ends of the earth for them. The West Coast was his happy place, and he instilled the values of caring for the land and caring for one another into his children, who are now instilling it into their children. He would often say, "All you need is a feed, a warm bed, and a roof over your head. Nothing else matters," teaching them not to sweat the small stuff. There is no disputing that Norm was a shit stirrer. The grin that would move that beard would be infectious. The quick wit would always amuse. A stubborn, fiercely independent warrior, he hated people fussing over him, but was always appreciative of what people did. As the end neared, his beautiful family nursed him at his home, knowing that he hated hospitals and wanted to pass peacefully with his family gathered around him. He got his wish on New Year's Day, and the world truly lost a wonderful character. Sleep peacefully, Norm. You will forever be remembered. Let's take a moment now to reflect on the personal memories we have of Norm, and perhaps bring to mind a story that can be shared shortly. Norm's soulmate, Trudy, has chosen a piece of prose written by Donna Ashworth, and it's called Loss, and she has asked that I share it with you this afternoon. It goes like this. You were so giant in this life, my love, as though you were the galaxy and everyone else the stars. You were so full of life in this life, that in death you are the same giant. And the hole you have left is a giant too. You were so giant in this life that my grief for you must be giant also. That's the science, you see. And really, there is little to be done about that. For love breeds grief, grief breeds love, and a giant hole does not easily fill. Goodbye, my little darling, from Trudy. So now it's your turn. Who would like to be first to come forward and share a story or a few words about this amazing man? Don't be shy. I know this afternoon there'll be lots of stories shared amongst you all. And sometimes they are so personal that you don't want to come and say them public. We quite understand that.
Okay, we all knew him. A couple of these are about Hobart. I don't reckon he'd mind me telling you. First one's the Lost Cray. So it's Sunday night. Norm, I must have only brought 3 home. Next Friday night on the way to the beach house. Jack all taking a break from dry retching in the back seat of the white EK wagon with the pink stripe. I'm pretty sure that cray's still in here, Norm. Famous quote. Driving to Cloudy Bay, Bruny Island. 4 p.m. Norm. Don't worry about anything to eat just yet. We'll shoot a rabbit down the track. 7 p.m. Jack Hall, Cloudy Bay. You sure this boiled fairy penguin won't make us sick, Norm? Result. Norm ate most. He was sick till Wednesday. Me and Jack went back to work on Monday. I'm struggling. Okay. I sort of started off with the best one. So, invitation, setting, Macquarie Street, dilapidated mansion, invited to drinks at a house full of fancy female students. On the balcony, 6 p.m, Friday in February. Everybody on the veranda, little fingers raised, our wine glasses, discussing art, etc. Cat runs across the road, screech, bang. Cat finishes journey on front legs and disappears through it with a broken back. Mass horror ensues, fainting, screaming, crying, and a voice growls over the mayhem. It's only a cat. Sorry for the... what else have I got? So this is when we were kids. It's about 1960 something. And we were in grade 7 at Marist. Okay? We all went where Norm was a boarder in 1966 and Norm was 12. 6 foot, blue-black stubble, and sat closest to the teacher's desk, mostly asleep. The guy running geometry classes, Brother Henry, was an ex-POW who thought teaching grade 7 kids grade 9 geometry was the way to get results. Nobody had a clue. At the end of the lesson, before we went to recess, someone would have to solve the problem on the board before we were let out. Bell would go, someone would wake up Norm. Norm would quickly rattle on about theories of alternative angles and parallel lines and stuff, and we'd all be let out. Day after day after day. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Hard act to follow. Anybody else want to come forward and tell a story? No? I'm sure there will be many. Go away. What would Norm say if he was with us right now? Maybe this. When I come to the end of the road and the sun has set for me, I want no rights in a gloom-filled room. Why cry for a soul set free? Miss me a little, but not for long, and not with your head bowed low. Remember the love that once we shared. Miss me, but let me go. For this is a journey we all must take, and each must go alone. It's all part of the master plan, a step on the road to home. When you are lonely and sick at heart, go to the friends we know. Laugh at all the things we used to do. Miss me, but let me go. Tomorrow, the family will lay Norm to rest in a quiet family service where he will join those who have gone before him. But before we finish this part of the afternoon, let's say a few words of farewell. Simply this. Norm, your life we honour, your departure we accept, and your memory we cherish. And although there is sadness as we say goodbye today, there is gratitude for your life. We are truly grateful for having shared life with you. But rest now at the end of your days. Norm, may your love be reflected in all who knew you, and may you continue to live on through the lives of those you leave behind. Your legacy is the memory of a great name and a great example. And so into the freedom of wind and sunshine we let you go. Into the dance of the moon and planets we let you go. Into the wind's breath and the hands of the star maker we let you go. And into the sadness and smiles of our memories we let you go. Go safely, go with love in your heart, and may you forever be at peace.
Daylight come and me want go home. Me say day, oh. Daylight come and me want go home. Work all night and a drink a rum.
Daylight come and we want go home.
Stack banana till the morning come.
Daylight come and we want go home.
Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana.
Daylight come and we want go home.
Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana.
Daylight come and we want go home.
Live
6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. Daylight come and we want go home. 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. Daylight come and we want go home.
day is a day, oh.
Daylight come and we want go Daylight come and we want go home.
A beautiful bunch, a ripe banana.
Daylight come and we want go home.
Hide the deadly black tarantula.
Daylight come and we want go home.
Live
6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. Daylight come and we want go home. 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. Daylight come and we want go home.
day is a day. Oh.
Daylight come and we want go home.
Is a day, is a day, is a day,
Daylight
is a
come
day.
and we want go home.
Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana.
Daylight come and we want go home.
Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana.
Daylight come and we want go home.
Day-o, day-o.
Daylight come and we want go home.
Day, is a 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 day.
Daylight come and we want go